Hello, my YouTube family. Welcome back to another episode of Soul Talk with Cash. We are a family that takes control of our thoughts and we tailor them to make lasting positive impacts on our relationship. Today, I am very excited to share with you 5 essential tools that we need to practice and use when we're having conflicts in our relationships. Once you're with your partner long enough, conflicts are inevitable. When we understand that, then we can condition ourselves that we do not avoid the conflicts, but how we manage our conflicts, how we deal with them, will determine the health or contribute to the health of our relationship. So, the first one I want to share has to do with communicating openly, clearly, and calmly. Oftentimes, when there is a conflict, naturally our response may be one of defensive nature, or we are so intent on sharing what we have to say. We want our partners to understand what we have to say, and oftentimes we do not listen to exactly what the problem is, or try to find out what is really causing this problem. And in conflict management, you want to ensure that you understand before you seek to be understood. So you're entering in this discussion, trying to understand where your partner is coming from, why they would have said that, how they feel about the situation, what is really happening, and trying to determine what the nature of this conflict is and what is really causing the problem. So, in order to do that, you have to be open to hear different views, to allow your partner to express themselves and to listen to that without judging your partner. And when you're listening, you're trying to understand feelings, you're trying to understand the background. You're trying to understand what it is that they really want and why is this causing a conflict. Also, you have to be clear about what it is that you want to share. So how often we talk, we say a lot of things, but are we really communicating clearly in a manner that will allow our spouses to understand what is really happening? When you approach conflicts as if you're having a discussion and not an argument, then you can have that attitude where you are calm. Oftentimes, when persons are angry, they tend not to listen, they tend to be defensive, they tend to start blaming, and they often don't take responsibility for contributing to the conflict at all. So both persons have to understand that they are responsible in some way or form to the conflict. You want to have that communication without being defensive. The second point is addressing the specific issue. So if there is a conflict, you need to be speaking about that particular problem. Many persons have a problem with this because they want to talk about something that has happened in the past. They want to mount or pile the issue, but try to avoid doing that. Address each problem on its own. If the specific problem is, say for example, your partner doesn't return your phone call and it was an important matter, you wanted to get to them in that particular moment, don't generalize the issue and say, you never return my call. I've been trying to call you all day and you haven't responded. And you start talking about yesterday when they didn't return your call, or you always don't return my call. Speak about this particular moment. Today, I was trying to get you because it was something really urgent and I called you several times and you didn't return my call. And when you are dealing with a conflict, speak about how you feel. I felt neglected. I felt sad. Use those I statements instead of you, because when you use you are giving responsibility to your partner as if you're blaming them for why you're feeling the way you do, or you're blaming them for the conflict. And blaming can result in resentment. Blaming can result in defensiveness. And those things are blockages to having that conversation, that dialogue, coming up with a solution to the conflict. Then you share what it is that you want. I love when you do this, or could you please help me with understanding this, or help me resolve this problem. So you're stating how you feel, you're stating what you want from your partner, and you're also asking for help to resolve the situation. And so when you speak about that specific issue, you are doing that from a point of view that you're both partners, you love each other, you want this to work out. The third point is discuss solutions. Both of you can engage in that conversation to seek to come up with solutions to the problem. And when you know exactly what is causing the problem, then you're able to come up with a more effective solution to the problem. I don't know if you've heard people saying, I have to get to the root of this matter. And that's what problem solving approaches should be like. You trying to determine that main reason why you're having the conflict. Because if you don't determine what the main reason is, you may have problems coming up with solutions. Because you may be trying to fix a problem without knowing what the cause of the problem is. This is why it is important to understand the main reason for the problem. And this is also termed as the root cause. For example, you're ill. You're visiting the doctor for a particular complaint and you get a general medication. That general medication may not be effective in helping your illness because it is not specific to what is happening. And so when the doctor knows exactly what the problem is, he or she is in a position to better administer the correct medication that you need. And it's the same thing when we're trying to resolve conflicts. When you understand what the main problem is, then you have a better chance of resolving that and hopefully it not being a problem again. That is, if both of you determine that you're going to work on implementing these solutions and you're going to stick to it, and that would contribute to effective problem solving. In another video, I will be sharing about root cause analysis, getting to the bottom of a specific problem, and you can look out for that one. The fourth point is that you have to learn to forgive. Forgiveness has to do with restoration, getting back to the point as if that problem didn't exist, even if your partner doesn't say I'm sorry, even if you do not get the expected behavioral change. Forgiveness is releasing yourself of that hurt, the pain that is associated with the conflict, and choosing to move on. Forgiveness is really a choice. When you exercise forgiveness, you are emotionally better able to deal with your partner. You have peace of mind. You have a peaceful environment and home. And so forgiveness really is aimed at restoration, rebuilding that relationship to its original point where everything was happy and nice and you did not have this big fuss or this separation. When you forgive, you do not bring up that previous conflicts. You do not allow your partner to feel guilty for the problem. that is where fifth tool comes in, where you move on, moving on, choosing to let the past remain where it is and allowing your relationship to go forward without the baggages of the past. Both of you, after you've discussed what the issue is, you've spoken about it, and you have decided to work together as a team, implementing those solutions and moving forward, then it's resolved. That's it. If it is that you have another problem that has arisen from the same problem that you had, then that means the solution was not implemented effectively. That means both of you need to go back to the drawing board and coming up with different strategies to resolve the problem. And those are the 5 strategies that I wanted to share with you today. In the comments below, you can share with me, what are those strategies that you use when you are dealing with conflicts in your relationship? I look forward to reading all of those comments. And before you go, be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and turn on your notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be the first to know. Until next time, I will see you in the next one.